Did a whole introduction on mute. So, back again with the truth. Good day, ladies. And welcome to Queenship, where we speak to women who are only beautiful on the inside and out, walking with you on your transformative journey to your highest purpose. And good day again. I'm back again with the truth. So, one thing that I know would be misunderstood about my relationship is what's what and who's who. And my intentions are to have an adult relationship. I don't want to be a forever girlfriend. I don't want to have a social media relationship where you don't work on yourself, you don't learn about the person that you're with, but you always know to look good for the camera. You want to smile for the camera. You want to have a perfect relationship on social media, but you don't actually work on your relationship in real life. I don't want to have a social media relationship. I want to have a real, genuine, meaningful relationship. I'm not, I have no intentions on being a girlfriend. I have all the intentions in the world to be a wife and a mother in that order. I believe this relationship was sent by God. I believe our union was a duty, a mission sent by God. I believe this whole relationship was brought on by God. I believe the relationship, anything before me, was karmic. You had to learn your lesson. Anything before him was karmic. I had to learn my lesson to prepare to be my best self for him. Vice versa. The people in the past have served their purpose in our lives to shape us to be the best versions of ourselves for one another. Although that although this person who's trying to draw a wedge in between our relationship is trying to remain being current, they're trying to force being current. They are a part of the past. That cycle has ended. It's over. Now when I came in, yes, he was in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, but anybody who knows better knows that boyfriend and girlfriend relationships don't really matter too much. A lot of people are trying to be forever in a casual relationship, and you're single until married. You're single until married. I'm not coming in between a married man. I'm coming in between nothing. There's nothing to draw a wedge in between. Especially when we saw potential in each other when we first met. I saw a husband in him when we first met. There has been doubts all throughout. It hasn't been perfect, as we've said, in all this whole time. There have been doubts. Like I said before, I've walked away a few times to end up coming back. And I know because I keep coming back, it's real. Because I never come back. Once I'm going, I'm going. Don't expect to see me. You'll be waiting forever. I'm not trying to have a social media relationship. I don't care what people think to that extent. To try and create a facade so that I uphold an image and a facade so that people believe that I'm in a good relationship and a happy relationship. I don't I'm not my inspiration is not other people's validation. I don't get inspired by other people's validation. Like, if I was to wait for validation, if I was to wait for permission, if I was to wait for people to applaud me, I'll be waiting my whole life for people to see my potential. And why would I even care? Honestly, people's opinions are fickle. You're a hero one day and you're a villain the next. You're somebody's best person one day and then on to the next. It doesn't. Other people's opinions don't really matter to that extent. Where you put on a facade just to appease the crowd mind. I'm gonna do what I want. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. I don't really. Doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna live my life regardless of how you feel about it, what you think about it, what your opinions are about it. That everybody's gonna have the opinions, and I tend to care more about people who matters opinions. Like my future husband, I care about what he thinks about things. His family, I care about what they think. His father, I care what he thinks. My father, I care what he thinks. I tend not to think about or care to consider other people's opinions when it comes to how I move, what I do with my life. That would have me paralyzed, not knowing what to do because you never really know the public's opinions until you actually do the thing. You know, if you want to be great, you have to position yourself to be scrutinized by everybody. Doesn't matter. What am I not gonna be in a relationship with this person because I'm scared what other people will think? What am I gonna do? Push somebody else all the way just so I can be in the same position as them? No. They're in a very powerless position. How I view it is that she was a placeholder, keeping my seat warm. And I have to thank her. Now that when I take a seat, my seat will be warm already. It's not going to be cold or anything. I'm not going to be uncomfortable. It doesn't have to. I don't have to warm it up or you know. It's already going to be warm. The only problem is that she's not trying to get up. She already lost her seat. She already lost her place, and she's not trying to move. Trying to hold on for dear life. She's not going to be there forever. That's why I'm not concerned. That's why I'm not worried. I just hope that I'm not going to need to take drastic measures like a restraining order. Like I said, I'm not sure how far she's willing to take it. Attention, if you're always trying to fight for attention and compete for attention, that's an ugly spirit. Not as ugly as envy, but it's definitely an ugly spirit. Attention seeking. He has even said that she's envious of me. That's why she's trying to make me believe that they're still together. She wants me to walk away. She wants me to walk away so bad. She gets so happy when I walk. Every time I walk away, she becomes a better person, and then she ends up going back, resorting back to her old ways. I don't need somebody trying to compete with me in order to know, okay, I need to step up in this place. I'm always evolving. I don't stop growing. I'm forever growing. I learned in high school, we always had these men and women on campus, and all day we'd have this rotation, and we'd spend a few minutes in a room with somebody who is a motivational speaker, or somebody who used to be down and out and not successful. They work in an insurance company or reinsurance company, or doctors, or somebody who's literally a motivational speaker, and does youth initiatives. You know, all day we'd be going to different people and learning from them on how to succeed in life. And there was this one guy who was a motivational speaker, and his advice was, oh, the question was, what do I do once I accomplish my goals? What next? His advice was set new goals. You have short-term goals and long-term goals. If you accomplish one, create another goal. You reach that milestone, make another goal. If you want, you can set up multiple goals, like a checklist. Oh, done that, and your life doesn't have to be perfect. Life is not a straight line; it's a scribble and a dot. If you've ever seen, reference in The Good Place, it's a scribble and a dot. That dot broke me. Life is not a straight line. It's not just college, work, marriage, death. No, there's life in between all of that. There's wonder, there's mystery, there's curiosity, as it should be. That childlike curiosity shouldn't die with your dreams. A lot of us become career oriented, career focused, career driven, and we forget about our dreams. And all I want to do is start my family. All I want to do is work on my relationship. I also want to work on myself, sort out my lifestyle. Because right now, I feel like I don't have no time for myself. I want how I want things to be set up. I want fruit smoothies first thing in the morning, every morning. I want structure in my life. And now I feel like I have to go get a blender because I done the mess. I ruined my tops. My tops are broken to the blender, and you can't blend anything unless you have a top because how it's set up is like dummy proof. So as soon as you put the top on it, you can blend it. I feel like I have to get a new blender, but I'm gonna end up just making juice. Just buying oranges and making orange juice and whatnot instead of buying mango chunks and frozen fruits and blending them. I think I'm gonna just do it the old-fashioned way. I want to have an old-fashioned love. Talk about books, read books, have like a library in the house. Move to a certain country. Patriotism matters, but if you consider yourself to be a global citizen, I think you can live anywhere because you'll still, I want to say, pay homage. You will still be patriotic. You just be wise because some countries, if you grew up in a country that it has high poverty, high crime, you don't want to raise your children in that environment. So you'll move somewhere that is, there are countries that are considered the safest place in the world. I would rather raise my children there, especially if the culture is untainted. There's only a handful of countries in the world that haven't been colonized, that aren't influenced by Western philosophy, whose culture is still intact, who've, who have preserved their culture for centuries. I want to go there. There's this crisis, this identity crisis in a few regions in these colonized countries. There's this identity crisis. There's a bunch of lost souls. All I want is to be loved and to love and be loved. I know I have to work on receiving and all that type of stuff. Like, I'm in a space where I am willing to be loved. Like, some people may not understand why love would be scary. But if somebody mentally and emotionally abuses you and calls that love, there's no wonder. There's no wonder you're scared because your body will go into this default setting. Oh, okay, this is what love meant to my past. This was what love meant in my past. Being physically abused, mentally and emotionally abused. And I don't, your body is going to automatically protect itself in advance. This fight, flight, fawn, flourish. Which one are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to run away? Are you going to choose to fight the person that you want to be with? Are you going to choose to go into a shell? Or are you going to choose to flourish, elevate, and grow together? Like, we don't have to be perfect for each other in order to be in a to get into a relationship with each other. We did the best we could with becoming the best versions of ourselves for one another. There's only so much perfecting that you can do without your person, because you have to adjust while you're in a relationship. You have to adjust to each other. I've grown, matured over the past few years. Like, I wouldn't even be able to recognize my old self. When I'm around people who remember my past or who treat me like how they remember me, I'm not familiar with that tone. I don't want to be spoken to like that. There's some family members who talk to me like I'm a child. I'm almost 30. And I'm like, is that what I used to accept? Is that how you view me? I'm like, I don't like that at all. I'm been with myself in solitude for long enough. If you tell me about myself, I'll be like, what? No. Me? Couldn't have been. I don't remember. I can't remember who you remember. I don't know who you remember me as, but we're gonna have to reintroduce you to me. A lot of people have to relearn how to talk to me. And after these few days, a lot of what I was talking about a few years ago is gonna add up. It's gonna make sense. I stopped talking about my man because there was a lot going on in my family after I brought that up. I didn't say who it was. I just said, all I said was, I found my husband and I'm gonna move away with him. That's all I said. I didn't say who it was. I didn't say his name. Only one person knows who it is. Only because they know who it is. But everybody else just all they know is that he's American. He's from America. America? He has a black man from America. Oh, his a cat, his catfishing you. He's a scammer. Oh, his probably got a gun. His you're gonna get what's it called? Oh, trafficked. They got guns over there. You know they're probably gonna try to sell your organs. You gotta be careful. Da, da, da. I stopped talking about it. One of my family members started calling other family members. Oh, you need to talk to her because she's going through something. She needs guidance. Like there's something mentally wrong with me. Like y'all think I'm stupid or something? Like what? What is going on? I had one person that was like, if you want to go away to meet them, I would go with you. If that's what you want. And this year was going to be my year that I start saving up so that I can go. I didn't even know I was going to be meeting him so soon. And that's the only reason I'm talking about it now. I would have stayed on your hush. I would have stayed on the kept the information on your low. But I'm gonna be meeting him in a few days. And I don't know what to expect. I am preparing myself for all scenarios. I'm preparing myself for Ace Girl to go hard on trying to create a false narrative. Stop being like my man, my man, my man, talking about my man, my man, my man. Lord knows, only the Lord knows. Like I said, I had received the energy, and I told God, I don't want that. I don't want that energy. I don't want to pollute my own energy. That's something. I received that energy once, and they got mental issues. I don't want none of that in my aura. I don't want none of that in my field, in my space, in my mind, tainting my energy. There's something wrong over there, upstairs. There's something wrong upstairs with them. And not a lot of people will recognize that. You gotta pay attention to patterns, the empty promises, the consistently being consistently inconsistent. You gotta pay attention to those types of things. You gotta pay attention to things that don't add up. There are people who are like, okay, so why over her there's a relationship, but over on his side there is no relationship. There's no sign or proof of a relationship. Why? If you guys are so madly in love and your relationship is so perfect, he comes across like one of them guys who honor and and shows off his girlfriend, and you'd know that they're together. He comes across like one of them guys where like, this is my wife. If you didn't know, now you know. That right there, yep, her right there, little shorty right there, that's mine. Don't look at her, don't touch her, don't give me a reason to put my hands on you, because I would. Don't let the unnecessary occur. You understand me? Oh wait, is it the unnecessary or don't let the necessary occur? Do you understand me? He comes off like that. He comes off like that type of guy. Don't let the necessary occur. You heard? That's mine. Um, I'm gonna give her my last name so y'all know this is property of. Do you understand me? There would be no confusion. It'd just be at the forefront of your minds, or something that he may want to prioritize in some type of way, shape, or form. He just comes across like one of them guys. You're not gonna be second guessing. You're not gonna be wondering. You're not gonna be trying to figure out, are they together? Is he in a relationship? Are you married? Like there's not gonna be any confusion. And I don't know if I want to post of our relationship. Like I think I've said before, I'm not really much of an attention seeker, and I know that people are gonna start poking in my accounts, my profile. I know people are gonna try to find me and hunt me down to figure out what's going on over her. That's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about. That's what made me sick to my stomach. Because of how he moves, I know there's gonna be a whole lot of people trying to figure me out. And that stresses me out. Honestly. I don't mind being in the shadows. Keep me off the camera. Keep me out of everything. Keep me out of the conversation. But listen, I don't mind people not knowing that we're together. That's okay. It's okay with me. But like I said, I've been called to do these lives. And like I said, I have pre-recorded videos, and I was gonna do this professionally in a scheduled manner. I had started recording in July. I was gonna start editing in August, and then start promoting in September. But I started getting busy, and now, it was a surprise to me that I'd be seeing him so soon. You know, I guess it was supposed to be a surprise, and the only reason he let me know is because I was gonna be in London by the time he got, came to where I'm at. I think I've mentioned that I live on a exclusive, secluded, isolated island in the middle of nowhere. One of the most expensive countries in the world. So I just didn't think that I'd be seeing him so soon. And I'm not really. I'm kind of like, sometimes I feel like I bite his head off. I don't mean to. Like I said, I'm been hurt. I'm been hurt, so I stand on his heels a lot. I feel like I bite off his head or bite his ear off sometimes. Like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm not the one to be played. I had applied for officer training at the regiment. I went to him and was like, I'm gonna need your support. I'm gonna need your support, and but maybe for him, for me, it's letting him know how he can support me. All I ask for is for support because I'm stressing out, I'm nervous, and all this type of stuff. And I'm like, if because the person who's trying to draw a wedge in between our relationship, they've been a problem for some time. Like they were doing too much, and I don't know what that was about. I have yet to to be keyed in on all that type of drama, all that type of stuff. But I told him, if this year is going to be like the last 2 years, let me know. Because I can do this all by myself. But if you're not going to be supportive, let me know now, so I can put in my mind that I have to do it all by myself. And he let me know that he's coming to where I'm at. And I'm her, oh my gosh. He's been working behind the scenes to meet me, and I'm her biting his head off. And I feel bad. No, I feel bad. He was gonna surprise me and all that type of stuff. So I found out a few months ago that I'll be meeting him this year. And I'm not sure how things are gonna go. I'm not sure if my content will be put to the back burner, or I'll be putting more energy into my content. I am not sure what to expect. Not the slightest. Not from him, not from me, not from Ace Chick. And, you know, another thing that people might be confused about is that I've said before that she has nothing going on. If you've watched content previous, if you watch my content previous to these random lives over the past few days, you would know that I focus a lot on the soul journey. If you are a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, but you're miserable, you don't do anything that feeds your purpose, that fulfills your purpose in life. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a mission. If you have a beating heart, you have a purpose, you have a mission that you're supposed to be fulfilling during your lifespan, during your lifetime. Great people don't worry about, if you are fulfilling your purpose, if you are on your mission, if you are on your dean, you're not worrying about other people. You're not hyper focused on copying somebody. You're not hyper focused on trying to humble somebody. You're not hyper focused on trying to create this false narrative, because you already got your life sorted out. All you got to do is be yourself. If your life is as perfect as you say it is, why would you copy somebody? Why would you try to outshine somebody? What I didn't understand, with the whole antics, was how they was trying to compete with me while also trying to copy me. How you gonna be? How you gonna compete and then settle for being inauthentic and mediocre? Because it's easy. You picked the easiest route. You could have used that energy to make something of yourself, but you decided to peep watch what's over her, have some next type made up fight going on, some fight club tip on some fight club tip. If you ever seen Fight Club, at the end you find out he weren't fighting nobody but himself. He weren't in competition with nobody but himself. I don't know what was going on. I'm not sure if it was revealed. I can't remember if it was revealed at the end, if he had some psychosis, some mental disorder going on, where he made up this whole imaginary friend. Was the club real? I don't know. Was it all imagined? Was it all in his head? because he was behind the whole thing himself this whole time. You're telling me you blew up your own house? It was you this whole time? Sabotaging your own life? Fighting yourself? You was just in the parking lot, beating yourself up. And guys looked at that like, wow, you're crazy. I like that. Let's start a club. She's on some Fight Club tip. Causing issues for Lord knows what. A bag. You're telling me you're doing all this for a bag? Now, I don't know for certain. Like I said, I tend to pay attention to my dreams. And there was one dream where they ran on a podcast, the radio. They did the most. They got the name out there just for a free bag. Causing issues in somebody's relationship, brought together by God for a free bag. Get you. Get out of her. Go, shoot. I don't care what it looks like. I care about what it is. And I tell it like it is. My mindset changed when I went to this third world country a few years ago. I went away when I was 17 and came back when I was 18. I had my birthday while I was out there. I was out in Nicaragua and Costa Rica for about 2 months. And when I came back, I'm like, I don't have to go outside and fight bats and snakes. And then for the running on an old system. You I learned to see value in things that many of us overlook, especially if it's there was cut off. My internet's been in and out. Drought season and If you're privileged, you have a house, kitchen, fan, you have all the material riches. Some of us tend to overlook the true riches in life. That's family. That's the love that you share. That's the relationships that you build from all walks of life. We tend to overlook the things that have true value. Fighting for things, fighting for things that will never feed your soul. Everybody always says we're spiritual beings, but they don't live as such. You live to feed your flesh, not your soul. The love that you share with your family is what is valuable. That's the most valuable commodity that you will ever have in life. And if that's not how you feel right now, maybe you need to heal. Maybe you need to change your perspective. Maybe you need to focus on your chosen family instead of the family that you came from. And build the love that you didn't grow up with. That love might have to come from you. So yes, I will fight for love because it's worth it. Some people treat it like it's a game and it's not. It might be a game for them. That's why they're losing. Your family will always be there for you. When you choose the right ones to build a family with, they will always be there for you. They will be all you have. If you're down and out, struggling, all that type of stuff, your family is what makes those moments less painful. Because they quote unquote had nothing. They had dirt floors, tin roofs, running water that you couldn't turn off. And they would run out of water during drought seasons, which is summertime. You had to go outside to get a shower, and if somebody's washing the clothes, you couldn't get a shower, or if somebody's getting a shower, you couldn't wash your clothes. Everything had to be done all out. Like you couldn't do everything all at once. If you had to cook, you would have to pour water in a bucket in advance so that somebody else can get a shower. Like there was one tube to one house with a whole family, 3 generations. Some people would say that's not living, but they were happy. They were full of joy. They were fulfilling their purpose in life. They took care of their family. They grew the food. They raised the food. The man went out and worked, and the women stayed home because it took all day to cook. You had to gather wood, wake up early in the morning before the sun, so that you can cook for the family, so that they can have the breakfast. It took all day to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All day. They didn't have a stove. They didn't have a fridge. They had to pick the food day off. They had to work for the food. But we tend to overlook the convenience in life, in our lives. grocery stores are right there. We got to deliver food or whatever the case may be. The source of transportation was horse and the ankle express. They had dirt roads. They had no paved roads. You could be walking for hours until you find a paved road. They had no lampposts in the neighborhoods. Some of the villages didn't have lampposts. They didn't have street lights or electricity. They moved with the sun. That experience had me appreciate everything that I had and look at life differently, shift my priorities. Because people who quote unquote have more than them, well, some of them are not happy. Why? When you quote unquote have everything. What's the difference? Why is there this big gap, this happiness gap? You got a monetary wealth gap, and then you have a happiness gap. Some people who are financially secure aren't happy, but those who are in a quote unquote financial deficit are full of joy. What am I missing? We tend to overlap those two, happiness and having money, but they are not. You don't need one to have the other, especially if you have natural resources. You grow your own food. When your grocery store is outside, damn, what do you need really? If you can build your own house and your grocery store, and you can pick your food, you can pick your meals by just stepping outside, then what? People work their whole lives to have that type of luxury, and some people will never have the luxury of love, to experience love. The world's up now, so you hear a bunch of noise going on around me. So I'm gonna head out, and the internet's in and out, so I'm gonna just leave. Cause that's frustrating. I'll be talking and this thing is not even on. But it's always a pleasure, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.